The patrol logs noted the anomaly at 3:14 Standard Galactic Time. Spatial disturbance near the edge of the Veltrax expanse had mapped. Quiet and dead for millennia, suddenly registered an energy spike. By the time the Delvian scout drone arrived, the object had already settled into stationary orbit around a cold black dwarf. No comms, no ID beacon, just a vast obsidian-colored structure drifting with unnatural stability. The object was a ship ore, something shaped like one but no known database matched its profile. Its outer shell absorbed scans, returned null data, and reflected no thermal output. The drone's sensors were fried moments after approach, but before its destruction, transmitted one word etched along the vessel's spine: Odysseus. The name caused confusion at first, then disbelief. The Odysseus was an Earth's exploratory vessel, launched centuries ago from a system that no longer held any strategic interest. Humanity, back then, had been a minor curiosity in the galactic registry. They had bold dreams but primitive reach. The Delvian Empire had marked them as non-threatening and ultimately unimportant. Their disappearance deep in uncharted space was tragic, perhaps but irrelevant to interstellar politics. Earth fell silent after that, whether by choice, accident, or extinction. No one cared to investigate. Other empires filled the vacuum. Time buried the name under layers of indifference. But now, the name had returned. Not as a rumor, not as a footnote, but etched into the hull of a ship that shouldn't exist. A Delvian fleet was dispatched, cautious but curious. They circled the vessel at a distance. No response, no visible crew. The ship ignored them. The boarding team approached, relaying tactical streams in real time. The moment they stepped through, the hull's perimeter, their feeds cut off. Gone. No distress call, no signal. Just static. The Zarn Dominion responded next. Their science cast was eager, arrogant. They launched autonomous nanoprobes and entanglement beacons. All vanished. Their lead tactician declared the ship to be a Relican automated ghost ship, or an abandoned experimental husk sent in a second wave, larger, shielded. It never reached the hull. The space around the vessel warped subtly, no explosion. No discharge, just a ripple like light bending around something that shouldn't exist. The wave of drones flickered and ceased. The station logs from Veltraxi Prime noted an unusual event. A galactic traffic node, it's normally stable, crashed for 7 seconds across 7 systems. It returned with no explanation. Upon restart, every connected relay station received the same packet. It contained a star map, and on that map, a single red coordinate, blinking. The file was signed with an old Earth encryption tag, outdated but unmistakable. Earth had just marked its return. Panic stirred in quiet places. The empires didn't like questions without answers. They liked unknowns even less. Somewhere, a long-forgotten dossier was reopened. Somewhere else, a silent consensus was reached. If Earth had returned, it had done so on its own terms. And if this was their ship, then what had they become? Asterisk docking protocols at Veltraxi Prime failed as the ship approached. Not because of aggression, because the systems couldn't define it. The Odysseus didn't register as matter yet cast a shadow. It displaced gravitational fields yet hovered with absolute silence. Its arrival wasn't declared. It simply stopped outside the orbital station. The station's artificial intelligence froze for 6 full seconds before rebooting without cause. Emergency scans resumed, and every camera turned toward the ship immediately glitched, looped, or died. Engineers tried analog systems, even sketchpads. The ship defied perception. A delegation of Zarn scientists suited up for a non-contact scan, sending a swarm of genetically bonded data mites. Each one disappeared upon reaching 2 meters from the hull. No signal, no trace. The Zarn declared. In a form of stealth defense beyond any known standard. The Delvian ambassador disagreed. It wasn't defense, it was indifference. The ship didn't even acknowledge their presence. 3 days into observation, something changed. A hatch opened. Just a motionless fold in space, like reality itself had unzipped. No crew emerged. No lights. inside a corridor, stretched infinitely dark, until, from within, a sphere the size of a melon floated out and hovered silently toward the station. Against protocol, a containment crew retrieved it. It wasn't aggressive. It didn't respond. But when connected to a power grid, it activated. Every terminal in a 20-meter radius went dead. Gravity reversed for 4.3 seconds. The station's core reactor flickered in sync with a heartbeat-like pulse. Then a single line of text appeared across all screens. Odysseus, Earth returns. No broadcast. No audio. Just the silent echo of a civilization that was never supposed to come back. An emergency council convened. Theories emerged. Had reverse-engineered alien tech or stolen it? Others believed they had encountered something outside known dimensions. The most radical hypothesis came from an I3 philosopher. Earth didn't find something, they became something. The station's lead Xenotech tried to interface with the sphere, using ancient Earth code retrieved from archives. It responded. Instantly, star chart unfolded in holographic form, not in light, but shadow stars, defined by absence. Coordinates written in gravitational curvature. The core systems translated one phrase, "You buried us in silence." Now listen. Aboard the Odysseus, the darkness remained. No living human had yet been seen. But a scan from an independent drone revealed something terrifying. The ship wasn't constructed, it was grown. Each panel had cellular structures, metallic yet organic. Pulses of data moved through neural filaments in its walls. The Empires didn't understand what they were seeing. They only knew one thing: this vessel bore Earth's name, but not its origin. And if the Odysseus was back, it had brought something with it. Something evolved. Something watching. Something that didn't knock before entering the galaxy's front door. The beacon activated without warning. Across 13 sectors, sensors lit up with a frequency so old that only the archive worlds recognized it. Analog Earth, pulse-compressed audio and lightwave communication buried under layers of distortion, pierced through military channels, trade routes, and private frequencies alike. No encryption, no virus, just a voice. Human, calm, weathered by time and something else no one could identify. This is Captain Idris Vale of the ESV Odysseus. If you're hearing this, Earth has not forgotten you. We left searching for knowledge, but what we found redefined us. We are no longer explorers. We are witnesses. Prepare yourselves, the message repeated, then faded into silence. The response across the empires was instant chaos. The Delvian Technate demanded containment. Zarn Dominion moved to deploy dreadnoughts. Even the aloof Athari sent an emergency query to their philosopher's circle. What did they mean redefined? The Odysseus remained unmoving. The airlock still open, the void within still resisting all light. But new details emerged. The outer shell, initially thought to be solid metal, was now pulsing faintly. Not mechanical pulsation, biological, it resembled respiration. Not of a machine, but a living entity. Microscopic samples retrieved from nearby debris showed the ship's hull repaired itself at the molecular level. An alloy fused with DNA. Every part of the ship responded to external stimuli, like nerves to touch. It wasn't armor, it was skin further. Scans revealed trace life signs. But the biosignatures weren't human. They were something ... adjacent. Echoes of human structure layered with unrecognizable alterations. Genetic evolution accelerated by centuries, or something that made time irrelevant. More disturbing was the data recovered from a dying Zarn drone that had penetrated a few meters inside the vessel. It transmitted a final burst of visual feed. Before its systems failed, inside murals. Engraved not with tools, but etched into the structure by what looked like memory itself. Visions of stars collapsing, of entities with no form of languages written in gravity. At the center of it all, Earth. Always Earth. Standing at the edge of some great cosmic threshold. Waiting, the Empires no longer dismissed the ship. As a relic, it had become a message. Not one of power, but of inevitability. The Odysseus did not move. It did not speak. It simply was. The longer it stayed, the more it became clear this was not a return. This was a reintroduction. It was no longer a lost world. It had gone somewhere the rest of the galaxy had not, and whatever it found there had changed it forever now. The galaxy had to decide what it feared more: the silence that followed humanity's disappearance, or the impossible voice that had just broken it. Asterisk on the seventh day. Without warning or ceremony, the Odysseus shifted. Not through thrust, not with energy signatures, but with a movement that defied the laws known to every starfaring civilization. Space bent, stars distorted. Observers across 8 systems watched as the vessel folded reality inward, disappearing. In a single blink, leaving behind no radiation trail, no gravitational echo, nothing but absence. The transmission came seconds later, from the ship. From Earth, after 3 centuries of planetary silence, Earth's signal burst into the galactic grid with unfiltered force. No encryption, no invitation. Just a universal message translated instantly into every known language. We are not returning. We've moved beyond return. What we once were is gone. We are still human, but we are something more now. Live feeds across research stations showed Earth as it was now. It's orbiting 3 new moons that weren't natural satellites, but constructs massive and alive with soft blue pulse grids. The planet's atmosphere shimmered with layers of energy, too fine for mechanical classification. Orbiting fleets, once dismissed as decommissioned husks, powered on crafts that should not have existed given humanity's last known technological level. A single figure materialized via quantum projection, female. Ageless, not quite human. She introduced herself as Laia, descendant protocol of soul. She spoke without emotion, but not without purpose. We traveled beyond the veil you feared. We were forgotten. We evolved. What we saw there would undo you, so we chose silence. Until now. She raised her hand and systems across the empires began shutting down, not in aggression, but in demonstration. Weapons flickered, communications jittered. Minds stuttered. We do not seek war. We offer warning. There is something beyond the rim, ancient and patient. We are not its enemies. We are its witnesses. Prepare your kind, or fall quietly. And then, as if the moment were a shared dream, the projection vanished. Systems resumed. Order returned. But something had changed. A tension subtle, vast, irreversible. The Empire, so used to arrogance, found themselves silent. The Delvian fleet withdrew. The Zarin ambassador renounced his post. The Athari monks began carving new star maps with Earth placed at the center. Because in that final moment, the message was not about domination. It was about perspective. Earth had not risen to power through conquest. It evolved by necessity. It had crossed a boundary the rest of the galaxy didn't even know existed. The Odysseus wasn't a ship. It was a symbol. A whisper across time that humans do not vanish, they transform. And now, the galaxy understood. Losing track of Earth had never been a relief. It had been a delay. One that had just ended.